Welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Healthcare in Vietnam is not necessarily world class. Many experienced expats and well-to-do Vietnamese will actually go to Thailand or Singapore for major medical procedures. With that said, it is not all doom and gloom. There are plenty of competent doctors and hospitals that can provide good to excellent medical treatment in Vietnam. Most expats will probably not be ready for the overall experience, so we have put together this brief guide with things to consider when seeking medical treatment in Vietnam, even for long term residents. First, relatively low cost. Medical procedures in Vietnam are often much cheaper than they are in developed countries. The government has made it a point to keep medical costs down so that more people have access to medical care. Foreigners, Americans particularly, are usually pleasantly surprised at the affordability of medication and office visits. Second, variable pricing. Depending on which clinic or hospital you go to, medical costs often vary. Even within the same facility, the same procedures can carry a different price tag depending on which doctor you see or whether you have insurance. Even if you are insured, prices can still vary depending on whether you have good insurance or bad insurance. Third, negotiable bills. Yes, medical costs are often negotiable in Vietnam. This is most often the case if you are paying out of pocket or if your insurance is not covering the full cost. If you do have insurance, make sure to bring all the necessary paperwork with you so that you can get the best possible price. Fourth, be prepared to wait. One thing that foreigners often struggle with is the fact that appointments are often not necessary, but then waiting times can be quite long. This is particularly the case if you are going to see a doctor at a public hospital. At private hospitals and clinics, appointments are often necessary, but waiting times are still often long, especially if it is your first visit, or if you are using insurance from a company that the clinic or hospital is not familiar with. Fifth, don't expect top shelf customer service. One thing to keep in mind is that, similar to more developed countries, medical staff here are overworked and underpaid, perhaps more so than most in Vietnam. This means that they might not always be the friendliest or most helpful. In particular, staff at public hospitals are often quiet, gruff, and may not have the best bedside manner. And sixth, uncertain infrastructure. The reality is that medical infrastructure in Vietnam is not always on par with developed countries. This means that medical facilities, equipment, and even medical staff might not be up to the same standards. In particular, medical facilities in rural areas are often quite basic and lack the same medical technology and equipment that you would find in major cities. Even in big cities, equipment, medication, or even expertise can be limited. Seventh, emergency rooms. One thing to keep in mind is that, similar to medical facilities in rural areas, emergency rooms in Vietnam are often quite basic, whether by design to accommodate as many people as possible or because of lack of resources. Medical staff in the ER are often not as well equipped to deal with major medical emergencies as you typically find in developed countries. And eighth, language. Don't underestimate the language barrier when you are bleeding. Many healthcare personnel in Vietnam do speak basic English, but by no means all. If your language skills are not up to the task of explaining and understanding medical terms, bring someone to help if at all possible. Getting medical treatment in Vietnam can be a bit of challenge for foreigners. There are definitely some things to consider before, during, and after your visit. However, Don't let this dissuade you from getting the treatment that you need. Necessary medical attention shouldn't be delayed because of money issues. Getting insurance is important. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give your like, comment, and subscribe.